This afternoon, the era of supersonic travel came to an end. The last Concorde flight from New York touched down at Heathrow with some of the passengers and many in the crowd of thousands who turned up to see it in tears. Concorde was an economic failure but a technological triumph, a symbol of modernity that was more than a quarter of a century old. Jeremy Bowen was on the last flight.
You know, Michael, there was a real sense of excitement on the plane over from New York today. Even the most blasé frequent flyers felt it. The most privileged passengers in the world felt lucky to be there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Early morning in New York and the last hugs of what's been a long goodbye. Between them, the cabin crew have been here thousands of times.
Bye.
Then a word from Captain Mike Bannister about Concorde's power.
The acceleration on the runway is quite something to remember, as I'm sure will be the rest of the flight.
Concorde pushed back from Kennedy Airport for the last time. It takes off at 250 miles an hour, much faster than subsonic aircraft. The flight engineer who shot these pictures could hardly hold the camera steady. Concorde banked hard left and set course across the Atlantic Ocean for London. If there is another age of supersonic passenger flight, it probably won't be in the lifetimes of any of us who were on board today. The cabin crew served a champagne breakfast as Concorde climbed to the edge of space, almost 60,000 feet. Most of the Concorde flights since it started scheduled services in 1976 have been quiet, rather discreet affairs. Not this one. Some of Concorde's best customers were invited to fly one last time.
I'm very sad for the future of civil aviation because, as far as I'm concerned, this was a huge step in technology and being able to travel supersonic speeds.
The ballet dancer Darcy Bustle loved Concorde's grace.
It's very weird to think that it's not going to be in the skies anymore. Yeah, it's such a beautiful, you know, machine that glides so beautifully.
It's really odd that something that was technologically brilliant should be just fading away. It's not what usually happens with successful inventions. They usually go on and lead to others.
By now there was no sensation of speed, but 11 miles below, sonic booms cracked across the Atlantic as Concorde hit 1,350 miles an hour.
Concorde is still a technological marvel. It's unique, it's beautiful, and most of all, it's fast. At the moment, we're traveling at Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. In the time it takes to pour a glass of champagne, we moved 10 miles.
Two other Concordes were in the air, going out around the Bay of Biscay and coming down from Edinburgh. Over London, we joined them, and air traffic control signed off.
All the best for your approach. It's been a pleasure to serve you over the last 30 years.
It's much appreciated, and we always like coming back to London.
3 smooth landings, and it was over. Around the airport perimeter and next to the taxiway, thousands of people were waiting to say goodbye. Concorde never recovered from the Paris crash. £8,000 return tickets don't fit into a world of budget airlines. Until today, though, you could cross the Atlantic in less than 3.5 hours, and now it's going to take around 8. Our shrinking world just got a little bigger. But the people who made and flew Concorde are right to be celebrating tonight. They can be proud of what they achieved. Well, it's quiet now here at Heathrow, at the main British Airways engineering base. 5 Concordes are drawn up behind me. Their futures lie in museums. And our modern age of supersonic air transportation is over.
Well, for the last lucky few passengers, today's final trip was a never-to-be-repeated experience. Now, those passengers included fat cats and the famous, celebrities and superstars. ITV's Mary Nightingale was also lucky enough to be on board, and she filmed some of the action with her own camera. This is her video diary of the final flight.
Concorde has always been a privileged club. The sky-high ticket prices have meant only the wealthy few can afford the luxury of breaking the sound barrier. The last 100 passengers have been specially invited. All of them have been regulars on Concorde for years, the most exclusive frequent flyers club in the world.
So, we're just about to set course, and the acceleration on the runway is quite something to remember, as I'm sure will be the rest of the flight.
Oh, here we go. You can really feel the nudge of the power in your back. Concorde takes off at twice the speed of a normal aircraft, 250 miles per hour. It is amazing. My ears are popping. Whoa, it is an amazing, amazing surge of power, and we're curving out over the ocean. There we are. Mach 1. We are now at the speed of sound.
So, down to the regular business of enjoying a Concorde flight.
This is what no one else is likely to experience again in our lifetime. We're flying at twice the speed of sound, 1,350 miles per hour, 53,000 feet. That's almost 11 miles in the sky. And it's true, we are on the edge of space. The sky is a deep dark blue, and you can see the curvature of the Earth. It is amazing.
This is sheer luxury in the sky. It's famous for its champagne and caviar.
So that's it. The supersonic era has come to an end. It seems strange, doesn't it, that in our high-tech world where everything is forever moving forward, bigger, better, faster, more modern, air travel is actually taking a backward step. It's such a shame.
And that was Mary Nightingale on Concorde's last ever flight.